Some dogs have certain traits that they'll carry over. Sometimes it can be because of pain, sometimes it can be bad experiences, sometimes it can be a range of emotions. So it's quite complex. So in terms of resource guarding people, I'd be thinking about the behaviour that you actually see. So a lot of people say that their dog's very protective of them, and they bark and lunge around them when someone comes near, or someone walks past, or someone comes into the house. So things I'd be considering is, does it happen with other people? That's the first thing to think about. Or is it a specific person that it's happening with? Does it happen in different areas? What about the situation? Is it being generalized to different areas? Does it happen with the objects as well? Does it happen when the dog's on the lead? Does it happen when it's off the lead? Obviously, if it's on the lead, from a safety perspective, that's important, but a lot of dogs can feel trapped on the lead as well. So thinking about the emotion, when we're changing the emotion, the behaviour can naturally change itself. So what is the emotion? Is it fear? Is it something that's more territorial in nature? Or is the dog guarding? And thinking about how valuable the items are to that dog, putting them in hierarchy of, if you imagine a pyramid, and at the top of the pyramid is what the dog likes most, where are these items in terms of the pyramid. So a range of different emotions can often be felt, and sometimes emotions can be exacerbated. So sadness can turn into feeling quite vulnerable sometimes, or just fear as well. So if left unchecked, sometimes emotions can develop into something more than they originally were, because they haven't been worked on and the associations haven't been changed. So in terms of resource guarding, body language to look for is where lie. So that's showing the whites of the eye. Eating really, really quickly, as if they're trying to protect their food. Freezing, lowering their head, and guarding particular areas as well. Thinking about whether the areas are tight space. Sometimes issues can happen in hallways, narrow areas, because the dog doesn't have options to leave and move away. So really thinking about that as well. In terms of behaviours, if we are thinking about it from the dog's perspective, possession is 9/10 of the law. So if we're taking things off them consistently, like their ball, and not giving it back to them, maybe it's another dog's ball, they're going to learn that our hands are always taking away rather than giving. And there's lots of kind of myths online about what you should do if a dog is approaching their food bowl, and how you should approach it as well. So there's lots of ideas that you should put your hands in it to teach them that there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can imagine, if you were eating and then someone took their hands, or put their hands in your food, and you're probably pretty annoyed as well. So training, that's key. Leave it, drop in these cases. Obviously, if we're constantly taking things out of our dog's mouths, they're going to get annoyed with us and upset. And if we are teaching a drop, so drop that item that you've got. It helps prevent them thinking that the items are always really, really important, because if we're constantly taking off items that that we value, in their mind that item can become really valuable as well, because we're constantly taking it off them. It must be special if we're constantly, you know, removing this item from them every time they've got it. So management, really key, not leaving the item around. Teaching fetch and retrieve, so the dog's learning to go and get the item but then give it to you. That's great cooperation there with each other, and because the dog's voluntarily giving it up, and they're learning that good things happen when they get the food as well, when they get the reward after dropping the item. There's that cooperation there. We want to change the association. We don't want the dog thinking that every time we go near their items, we're going to take it away. We want them to realise that actually good things happen when we approach items. So changing the association really carefully with management techniques put in place. There's a really good book called Mine by Jean Donaldson I recommend checking out. But, you know, using Kevlar gloves, safety gloves, using barriers, using leads where needed, really, really important from a safety perspective. So in terms of prevention, feeding puppies and just giving them a little tidbit in their food bowl from a young age, so, you know, dropping some food nearby their food bowl, a tasty, yummy treat, that's going to help teach them that our hands give rather than always take away. So being proactive about managing our dog's environment and teaching them that hands give, not always take away, really, really important there. So thinking about the context that it happens in, who it happens with, what it happens with, the body language shown will give you a really good idea of the different aspects to this behaviour and the different triggers for it. Thinking ABCs, antecedents, behaviour, consequence, as always.